I say forget canned or bottled. Try this zesty tomato pizza sauce on your next pizza with cheesy garlic bread or mozzarella sticks. This recipe is as simple as tomato paste flavored with lots of herbs and olive oil simmered over low heat for an hour or two. Toss all the ingredients in a saucepan and let them go to work with no effort from you. This recipe is cost effective and so tasty you'll never buy a store-bought version again. Well, at least I don't. In fact, this is my go-to and only pizza or marinara sauce that I use in my house. Let's check it out. For the ingredients, you'll need tomato paste, water, olive oil, garlic, salt, granulated sugar, black pepper, crushed red pepper, and dried herbs to include Italian seasoning, oregano, basil, and rosemary. In a medium saucepan, we're going to add 170 grams, which is 6 ounces of tomato paste. You're going to slowly whisk in 356 milliliters, which is 1.5 cups of just plain old water. Whisk it until it's smooth. And you're going to pour in 78 milliliters, which is 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. And then whisk everything until you can get it about as combined as you can. Since water and oil don't mix. Now we'll add the remaining ingredients. This is what I would call all of the flavor. So we'll start with 2 to 3 minced garlic cloves. We like garlic, so I'm actually adding 3 garlic cloves, but if you're not the biggest fan of it, then you can use less, or you could use more. I'm starting with 3 grams, which is 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but I will likely add more up to the same amount later. We like flavorful sauces, so you'll notice the seasonings are quite a lot, but it works for us and makes a great sauce on its own or as a main flavoring on bread or cheesy bread. So for the herbs, we're gonna add 1.5 grams, which is also 1.5 teaspoons of dried Italian seasoning, 1.5 grams, which is also 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano, 1.5 grams, which is also 1.5 teaspoons of dried basil, and 1 gram, which is 1 teaspoon of crushed dried rosemary. For taste bud balance, I also like to add 4 grams, which is just 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar, 1 gram, which is 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And for a little extra heat, we're gonna add 1/2 gram, which is 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. So whisk everything really well. Turn your burner onto medium-high heat until boiling. You should stir occasionally just to prevent any ingredient from burning on the bottom of the pan. Once the mixture begins to boil, you want to go ahead and stir it. Give it another good quick stir. You want to reduce the heat down to simmer. Cover the sauce with a lid. You're going to simmer the sauce for 1 to 2 hours, allowing time for all the ingredients to melt together. You will want to check the sauce on occasion and stir it a few times while it simmers to prevent any burning. Now you may go about your day. Near the end of the simmering time, you want to give it a quick whisk. Go ahead and turn off the heat if you'd like. Give your sauce a taste. See if it needs more salt. You can add anywhere up to 3 grams or 1/2 teaspoon, so just add a little at a time until you're happy with the seasoning. And you're going to remove the sauce from the heat, and you're going to pour it in a heat-proof container. Notice the texture of the sauce. It is a smooth, somewhat thick sauce. You can spot the many different herbs. That's what the dark spots are. Quite a bit of texture here from the herbs. It smells like an Italian grandma's kitchen on a Sunday afternoon, if I do say so myself. Once your sauce has cooled some, it's ready to top your pizza crust or dough, or use it as a dip for your cheesy garlic bread or mozzarella sticks. Usually I make the sauce ahead of time and store it covered in the fridge or freezer until I'm ready to use it. If the sauce is frozen, allow it to thaw in the fridge overnight. If it's cold, I often heat it in the microwave before topping my pizza to help the dough rise from the warmth of the sauce prior to baking. Let's give it a taste. The tomato comes through very clearly. The sauce has a bit of a zesty bite. Oh, I just got it. A little bit of a zesty bite, meaning it has that little bit of spice from the red pepper flakes. The sugar now, while it only is just 1 teaspoon, it's a small amount, it does help cut the natural acid in the tomato. The herbs add flavor, variety, and a woodiness to balance out the tomatoes' fruitiness, and of course its acidiness and freshness. It's a good flavorful sauce. If you're looking for a flavorful tomato sauce, this one is a good one to try. And it's super simple to make. As with any sauce though, you can adjust the ingredient quantities to fit your preferred flavor profile. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. Until next time, simmer some homemade zesty tomato sauce and go bake the world.